Hello, my name is Robert Brewster. I'm currently in the fifth year alternative program here at JSU, working towards my master's in physical education. I graduated from UAB in 2010, where I received my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I'm actually currently a police officer, as well as I'm a volunteer assistant baseball coach at Boaz High School. This class has been very informative so far. It has really opened my eyes and shown me how each subject or content area has its own form of language or literacy. Literacy has evolved tremendously over time from the original definition of being able to read and write. In my opinion, to be literate is to have a knowledge and understanding of the content that you are trying to be taught. In a physical education setting, social interactions are a constant. Unlike a traditional classroom where students must work alone at times, in a physical education class, students are constantly working together, communicating, and collaborating. Module 3 was very interesting. In part 1 of Module 3, we learned about the different theories that make up the different social learning perspectives. In my opinion, all these theories are very similar, as they all strive to expand the literacy of students through different social interactions they have with one another. Out of all the theories covered in this model, I feel that the social learning theory is the one that relates closely to PE. The social learning theory essentially states that people learn from observing others. In other words, this allows a student to see how a task is accomplished before they try it for themselves. I did not realize until I read this chapter that actually how much the social learning theory is actually put to use in physical education. A quality PE teacher will always demonstrate a new skill before it is introduced to students. For example, if I were going to introduce a volleyball unit to students that were unfamiliar with it, I would not just simply say, hey, go play volleyball. I would begin the unit by demonstrating each skill that is involved in volleyball and make sure that each student had a good grasp of learning to bump, set, and spike properly with the proper mechanics. Me demonstrating these skills to them as they observe would be an example of the social learning theory in physical education. I really enjoyed part 2 of Module 3. Schools today have very diverse populations, but I believe diversity can be a great thing. Students come from all different backgrounds and walks of life, but I think through positive social interactions that they can learn from one another. Controversial subjects are always going to arise in the classroom because students are always going to have their different opinions or beliefs. I think it is important to let students express how they feel freely as long as it is done in a positive manner. I believe that when students have good, healthy discussions or debates, they again learn from one another. I also think it is very important, though, that as an educator you never show favoritism to one side or the other. I am a huge advocate of the democratic classroom and also building positive, authentic relationships with your students. I think when you allow students to have a little freedom to make decisions on their own, they're more receptive towards you. I just remember growing up, coming through school, and if I ever had a teacher that just wanted to show how much authority they had, it was always a class that I didn't want any part of. And I would always be miserable throughout the entire class. But if I had a teacher that took the time to show me they wanted to build a positive relationship with me, I always really enjoyed that class and got more out of it. I believe that building positive relationships with students is one of the most important things we can do as an educator. It helps to give us a better understanding of our students, and in turn can help us become better educators.